Tonight, the Speaker dismisses the Majority Leader's claim that the Anti-LGBTQI plus bill has been passed, insisting the legislation expired with the previous Parliament after President Akufo-Addo refused to sign it into law. As he reviews, he rejected an attempt by the government to sponsor the bill.
We'll process it as private members' bill. It has to come back to the Speaker. You know, our rules have given what the Speaker is expected to do, which I will do before it can be laid in the House.
We'll hear from the Minority Leader who insists the ruling government must now taste the bitter pill they gave their predecessors as pressure mounts for the bill's return.
At the highest level, I repeat, at the highest level, there was that consensus that considering how the international ecosystem will react to this, we should tread cautiously. Then at the leadership level in Parliament, there was also a certain level of understanding.
We'll bring you all the details, plus speak to people who matter to this particular conversation. I would also take your viewpoint as well here on Top Story, brought to you always by Teletel Connect and Energies, Holy Insecticide Spray and Coil. Enjoy Holy Sleep, and also by Short Pension Trust into the future with you. Well, tonight, the Speaker of Parliament has dismissed the Majority Leader's claim that the Anti-LGBTQI plus bill has been passed, insisting the legislation expired with the previous Parliament after President Akufo-Addo refused to sign it into law, as he has revealed again that he rejected an attempt by the government to sponsor the bill. The Speaker, Alban Bagbin, has ruled that the controversial legislation must now be reintroduced in the new Parliament. This follows a week of confusion after Majority Leader Mahama Yarga argued the bill had already been passed by the 8th Parliament. We'll hear from the Speaker shortly, but first listen to Majority Leader inviting him to make a determination on this matter.
Mr. Speaker, after you left, the LGBTQ bill was advertised, and the following day, it was immediately taken out of the order paper. And I mentioned to this House that, truth be told, you had seen the adverts, but said there were a few issues that needed to be resolved before a decision can be taken as to what to do. Because I took a position that, so far as I recollect, in the last Parliament, we passed the LGBTQ bill, and my understanding was that it was transmitted to the presidency. Later, we saw communication from the presidency threatening us to cease and desist, attempting to transmit the bill to the then president for his assent. I did not know whether or not the presidency was in receipt of the bill. So I took a position that this House had passed the bill, but we should wait till you return so that you can give us some direction as to how to treat this bill. I want to place on record that the government of President John Dramani Mahama and the government led by President John Dramani Mahama and the NDC are very, very ready to take this bill. We are ready to assent to it. We are ready to take it in this House. But Mr. Speaker, in view of the thorny legal issues that are raised, we're waiting for you to come. We're waiting for you to come and give some direction.
So that is the Majority Leader Mahama Ayariga there. But Deputy Minority Whip Habib Idrisu gave a response to what the majority leader said in the House today. Listen.
The issue we raised on the floor, Mr. Speaker, the issue we raised on the floor is that the day we resume Parliament, the LGBTQ law is LGBT. It's LGBT. It doesn't matter. T. It doesn't matter. Transgender. The T is for transgender. LGBTQ transgender. And Q. Mr. Speaker, I raised the issue. It was on the other paper. And the next day, Mr. Speaker, it was missing on the other paper. So I drew the majority leader attention. Mr. Speaker, the earlier statement I made about the majority leader, if that is why my colleague is on his feet, it was no offense. And if it offends him, I'll take it out. He knows I respect him so much. When I said he's a Harvard-trained lawyer and other things, I'll never say anything. I'm just building my point. And Mr. Speaker, the argument the majority leader is advancing is very surprising, that he thinks that the bill is passed. And for that matter, why is the president not signing it? If it is passed, you are the leader of government business, you are the majority leader. 10 months now, why is the president not signing it? 10 months now, why is the president not signing it?
Now, Parliamentary Affairs Correspondent Kweku Asante joins us with some details. Kweku, the majority leader, prior to the Speaker's ruling, said the current majority has no issues getting a new bill passed. Tell us more.
Well, yes, you will recall that last week when this matter came up in Parliament, the minority leader, Alexander Afenyo-Markin, said that the NDC were seeking to run away from the bill. Part of that was reiterated by Habib Idrisu. You hear the speak on the floor. Mahama Ayariga says, as far as they in the NDC are concerned, this is a done deal. It is just a matter of how it is going to be done. And it is not true that they in the NDC majority here and those in government are seeking to hide or run away from this bill.
And we in the NDC, who did everything to get you to give the assent, you are creating an impression that we are no longer committed to the bill. I thought the fastest way is to treat the bill as having been passed. But if you want us to start all over again, I want to assure you that this side of our house is ready to start all over again. So, Mr. Speaker, like I indicated, we are in your hands. Give us directives, what you think. I am told that the bill was never transmitted to the presidency. So if the bill was not transmitted to the presidency to be assented to, after it had been passed by this House, Mr. Speaker, it creates quite a legal issue. So I thought that we should wait for you to come and give us some direction on the matter, and then we can proceed. But let me give every assurance that we are ready to pass this bill as a House on this side. And let me also give you assurance that I have personally spoken with the President, and he has no hesitation to sign if this Parliament should pass the bill.
Well, Kweku, the Speaker, having been invited to rule on this matter, indeed did rule. What formed the basis of his decision?
Well, as far as the Speaker is concerned, the very popular view that once a bill that has been enacted or passed by a previous Parliament does not mature to become a law, that bill dies with the old Parliament. And so as far as he is concerned, given that the 8th Parliament passed this bill but did not get presidential assent, that bill has expired. He also gave some indication that the government had actually indicated that they wanted to sponsor the bill and bring it to Parliament, but he rejected that in a conversation with the government and the President, that this is a bill that Ghanaians want to see passed, in his words, through a private member's bill. But as far as he's concerned, the bill will be reintroduced. He has to do some processes, and the bill will be first read on the floor.
The 8th Parliament is history. So are all the businesses that were pending in the 8th Parliament. They all ended with the 8th Parliament. And so we have a new Parliament, the 9th Parliament. And therefore what was pending there came to an end and had to be reintroduced. It was actually transmitted to the former president, They wrote to tell us that they will not assent to it. The only constitutional error they committed was they didn't give us the reasons why they will not assent to it, and they did not also transmit the bill back to us. They imprisoned it there. So the 9th Parliament, on resumption, took back the bill, and as you recall, that's a private member's bill. And so members of this House took it up. They've gone through the whole process as detailed out in our standing orders. But as it went through the process, the new government indicated that they wanted to take it as a public bill. I personally disagreed and made it known to His Excellency the President that this is an initiative of our people, the traditional leaders, the religious leaders, civil society leaders. Ghanaians wanted this bill passed through private members' bill. And so be it. We'll process it as private members' bill. It has to come back to the Speaker. You know, our rules have given what the Speaker is expected to do, which I will do before it can be laid in the House.
So that is the Speaker's ruling there. But in the last few hours, we've been hearing some revelations about the attempt by the two major parties to reach a compromise on this particular matter. Minority Leader Alexander Fielmarking has revealed that a high-level meetings were held between the then MPP government and the minority, then the NDC leadership, over the anti-LGBTQI plus bill when it was first introduced. Now, he says, despite reaching a compromise after several discussions, the minority proceeded to lay the contentious portions of the bill before Parliament. According to him, the former MPP government faced intense pressure from the international community at that time, and now the NDC government must swallow the same bitter pill they once served the MPP.
At the highest level, we engaged them. I repeat, at the highest level. And there was that consensus that considering how the international ecosystem will react to this, we should tread cautiously. Then at the leadership level in Parliament, there was also a certain level of understanding. They also expressed their own concerns that, look, this is something that they have put out. So to chicken out that there's already an existing law will be difficult. So we had to go back and still discuss back and forth. And then the final consensus was that, okay, look, by our Ghanaian value system, we don't really agree to this gay rights, etc., etc. So some individuals who were pushing a certain agenda against the country, the stakeholders, we sat with them. And I was a leader of government business then. And we had several discussions. In the end, the compromise was that, okay, you can pass your law, but the bit of incarceration, the post-conviction sentencing, where the person will be incarcerated to go to jail, because the country itself is moving away from a post-sentencing custodial
to non-custodial
to a non-custodial sentencing regime. That would be a safe landing for all parties. So if you check the Hansard, I filed a motion to amend that bit so that all others remain. That one to last minute, our friends hit us hard. And that hot afternoon, like you said, I wasn't a lucky man. Assumed leadership in a 137 at that tail end of the regime, the administration. It was not easy for me, all right? My friend Ato Forson could not look me eye to eye. I will call Ato, he will look elsewhere. The chief whip, Kwame, I will go. I was literally crying, Kwame, let's save our country. He will look you and say, Kwame na, you know, it's not me. Oh. Then they will be tossing you, go here. Go and see this, our big man. You go there, midnight, early morning. You go and wait. They say, oh, okay. Then last minute they say, oh, it's our boys. It's our, you know that kind of plausible deniability, that game, eh? They will say, oh, it's the back bench. Then some judge will come in, I'll call some. You, at least let's compromise on this. Then you also, I'll get back to you. I need to talk to my bosses. Meanwhile, the same bosses are saying you are the problem. Look, it was not easy for us.
So that was Afeon Markin speaking to Evans Mensah on PM Express there. Now, he went ahead to say the NDC chose to weaponize the anti-LGBTQI plus bill to gain what he calls political advantage during the Asin North by-election. He claims the party later reneged on their earlier compromise and pushed the bill through for political mileage. Listen to him.
They knew that they assigned the mind of the population in a certain way. And they saw power. So for them, it was a good experiment in Asin North. You know, the whole of Asin North campaign was that MPP was bringing LGBT, that MPP for say, Obani, Oba, and Wari. That was their whole campaign. And once it passed in Asin North and it worked for them, come on, they were not ready to sit with us. Now today, you are in government. You are in government today. And the same international community is watching you. You see how Mr. President navigated around it when the Catholic bishops visited him in the early days. And now Mr. President was even talking about broader consultation. But your party wanted a bill, and you liked it the way it was. So,
so that is the minority leader there, Alexander Afeon-Markin. Let me bring in one of the sponsors of the LGBTQI plus bill, an MP for Asin South, Reverend John and Team Kojo. I'm grateful to you, sir, for joining us here. Now, what do you sponsors intend to do now that the Speaker has clarified exactly what must be done?
Yeah, good evening, Kojo. So, Speaker has ruled, and his ruling is consistent with the position we held when we expressed our surprise at the point that the majority leader raised in Speaker's absence. And we insisted that wherever they had taken the bill for which it disappeared from the order paper, we will fight until it reappears on the order paper for first reading to be taken and for the subsequent processes to be undertaken for its ultimate passage. So one Speaker has ruled that there is nothing wrong with a bill going through the process in the ninth Parliament. What we expect is that beyond rhetoric from every actor, by tomorrow the bill must appear on the order paper. If tomorrow it doesn't appear on the order paper, then whatever was said today is just mere rhetoric. So we are looking forward to tomorrow, the Human Sexual Rights and Family Values Bill reappearing on the order paper for the first reading to be taken for consequential referral by the Speaker to Constitutional Legal Committee and the rest of the processes undertaken. We will not accept that the first reading of the bill be deferred to next week or any other later date. It has to be, as the matter has been concluded by the ruling of the Speaker, we want to see action. We want to see that the Parliament is walking the talk and want to see Human Sexual Rights Family Values Bill 2025 on the order paper tomorrow and for first reading to be taken.
And if it doesn't appear?
We will explore our options. If it doesn't appear, then means whatever that was said is just deception to the good people of Ghana. And I don't think that all the key stakeholders who have spoken, highly respected legislators who have spoken, including the Speaker himself, will go back on his words. So the matter has been settled, and it's suspected that consistent with the ruling, the matter should reappear on the order paper tomorrow. I have always said that while Speaker was away, I predicted that as soon as he comes, this will be his ruling, because I have worked with Speaker for a very long time, and I know the integrity and credibility of Speaker Bagman is unquestionable. There's no doubt about his consistent principle upheld. And so the way I know Speaker Bagman to be a man of his words, tomorrow we should, subsequent to that, see an instruction that will be carried out to the ruling of the Speaker to see human and social rights and family values bill re-advertised on the order paper for subsequent first reading.
I mean, since the ruling by the Speaker, have you and your other co-sponsors met to determine your next line of actions? Hello, Reverend Kojo, are you there? Unfortunately, we've lost Reverend Tim Fojo there, but he says he's looking forward to having this particular bill appear on the order paper tomorrow. But when the Speaker, as of the time the Speaker was given this ruling, the National Coalition for Proper Human Sexual Rights was also organizing a news conference, and at which news conference they have given Parliament a 2 weeks ultimatum to act on the family values bill, and Ghanaian families value bill to President John Mahama for assent. Now, at this particular briefing, the lead convener, Moses Fo Amoni, said they will not tolerate further delays after years of political back and forth on this particular bill. Now, he's further warning that if Parliament fails to act within the given period, the coalition will announce a series of nationwide actions to demand accountability and protect what it calls the moral foundation of the country. An interesting couple of days that we will be seeing here in Ghana to see whether tomorrow Parliament will have it on the order paper or not. But let me bring in my colleague Kenneth Jesse, who's been covering this particular news conference by the National Coalition for Proper Human Sexual Rights. Kenneth, what has been? We understand that they've given the Parliament a 2 weeks ultimatum, but what else have they been saying?
Well, so that ultimatum was given on the premise of the assurance that they say was given to them by President John Dramani Mahama when he met them somewhere in January and assured them that he was going to present the Proper Human Sexual Rights Values Bill to Parliament, this time as a public members bill through his Attorney General. And they're taking the word of the majority leader as well, saying that this bill has already been passed and it's left with only the assent. So they say that if it is left with just assenting to this bill, it shouldn't take even more than a week. That is the reason why they are giving a 2-week ultimatum and have announced a series of actions that they will take if that does not happen. They say that politicians seem to taking Ghanaians for a ride. They cited how the previous government was unable to pass the bill. And then, of course, they are saying that they do not want a repetition of that incident in this administration as well.
But I mean, having heard that previously, there was a bit of a compromise there. Did they talk about their belief or faith in the fact that Parliament and this government can get this bill passed?
Well, before they presented this statement during the press briefing they held a few hours or minutes ago, they said that they consulted both sides of Parliament. They said that they consulted Sam George. They also consulted John Tim Fojo, who you spoke to moments ago, and they all gave the assurance that they are in full support of it. So they have faith. According to them, they are giving the president, they are giving Parliament the benefit of doubt because they have consulted widely. It's been a bipartisan unison, as they mentioned earlier. So they have faith that this will go through, and if it doesn't, then they will announce their next series of action. So according to them, they are giving Parliament and the presidency the benefit of doubt and see if it will be assented to or passed.
Kenneth, grateful to you. So he is at this particular, news conference organized by the National Coalition for Proper Human Sexual Rights and Family Values. Let me bring back John Fojo. He is a sponsor of this particular anti-LGBTQI plus bill. I'm grateful to you for rejoining. Do I still have you, Reverend Fojo? Let me try again. Reverend, do I still have you on the line? Okay. So there you have it. Reverend Tim Fojo is saying that as for they a minority, they expect that this particular bill will be on the order paper tomorrow. But as to whether they can tell by now whether or not it will get in there, we want to seek some clarification, because if this is something that will get onto it, I'm sure they could possibly, have first-hand information as to how this is going. But he again tells us that if they do not get it on the order paper, they would look at other options available to them. Well, so we'll see how this one goes tomorrow if the House sits for its daily meeting, and whether or not this will be brought back onto the order paper. This has been a top story brought to you by Telecel. Connecting Energies, Holy Insecticide Spray and Coil. Enjoy a holy sleep, and also by Shield Pension Trust. I have Reverend Tim Fojo back on the line again. Reverend, unfortunately the line dropped there, but I wanted to find out from you. By now, I'm sure there are ways that you and your co-sponsors could have or might have met on this bill. Okay, we don't have him again. So let's wrap it up here. Coming up next is News Night.
I get them, I send them. I get them, I pay them.
Telecel cash.
I get them, I take them. I pay them, I send them.
Telecel cash. Telecel cash.
Experience the ultimate convenience of sending money on Telecel Cash. Sending money from Telecel Cash to Telecel Cash is free. You can also make payments to merchants on all networks. Enjoy best value and total security with Telecel Cash.
Telecel, connecting energies.
No. You look so relaxed and cheerful these days. What's your secret?
No secret, Kofi. I just sorted out my retirement with Shield Pension Trust. You should talk to them.
Retirement? There's more time before pension.
Sure. The earlier you start, the better. And Shield Pension Trust makes this so easy for you. They've got amazing plans to choose from. I even signed up for the Shield Cedi Crow a day personal pension scheme, which lets you save as little as 1 Ghana Cedi a day towards your retirement. Isn't that great?
1 Cedi a day.
Exactly. And the best part is, I sign up automatically on the Dacia Promoting Plan, which guarantees me medical insurance when I go on retirement.
Hey, you've convinced me. I need to sign up now.
Kofi is making a move to secure his future and health insurance when he goes on retirement. What about you? Go to Shield Pension Trust or call us now on 050-915-0253 and we'll guide you through securing your pension tomorrow. Shield Pension Trust, into the future with you.
Announcing Ghana's first unlimited photocopier leasing. Yes, from just 983 Ghana cedis, you can lease a multifunctional photocopier and print unlimited. Yes, unlimited and free paper every month. Guess what? That's not all. Toners, repairs, and maintenance all are free. And oh, I'm not kidding at all. And we cover the whole country. Yes, the whole country. What are you waiting for? Just visit us at www.valexlease.com or call 0244 644048. I repeat, or call 0244 644048. Remember, terms and conditions apply. Valix Lease, affordable document management solutions.
Couldn't sleep at night. Mosquitoes will be whining my ears, bugging me all night long. Till I got a remedy. Now I'll be spraying them away with holy insecticide spray. I go spray them away with holy insecticide spray. When I sleep, me da na ma da with holy insecticide spray.
Holy Mosquito Quell Holy Multi-Purpose Insecticide Spray. Ghana Kron Kron. For bulk purchase, call 0302 681582. This advert is FDA approved.
This is really good. Missing that real taste of Ghana? Your favorite kitchen is calling. Living Room Restaurant, famous for mouth-watering authentic Ghanaian dishes, has a brand new home. We've moved. Find your favorite food now at our bigger, better spot on the Trinity Avenue, Baalishi, East Legon. It's the same incredible flavors, same warm Ghanaian hospitality, just a fresh new location, and now with live band on weekends. You could also book our lovely spaces for your private event at the same venue and enjoy the same great service. Visit us today at Trinity Avenue, Baalishi, East Legon. Living room, simply delicious.
In the next 60 minutes here on Newsnight, National Coalition for Proper Human Sexual Rights gives Parliament 2 weeks to act on anti-LGBTQ bill as it threatens nationwide action over further delay. We have the very latest for you. Also tonight,
Minority voice a strong dissent over Attorney General Dr. Dominic Ayini's public comments on state prosecutions, describing them as unconstitutional, biased, and nothing more than cheap political expedients.
We believe in accountability. What we are against is the biased press trial which the Attorney General seems to revel in, to the extent that he's virtually pronouncing the guilt of accused persons even before they get a chance to open their cases before the court. Competent agents don't prosecute their cases in the court of public opinion.
We have details, plus we'll tell you what to expect for the minority in Parliament when the Chief Justice nominee, Justice Bafuboni, appears before Parliament's vetting committee.
Boycotting is out.
So categorically, you will not boycott.
We will not boycott it. Anybody who is expecting us to boycott, I say here and now, we will never boycott it.
So what will you do instead?
We will do what is right. He himself must know that there is a Chief Justice.
And who is the Chief Justice?
Also, Ghana marks CD at 60 with the governor of the Bank of Ghana speaking words of optimism about the country's economic prospects.
The evidence is compelling. Headline inflation is now at 9.4%. The cedi has appreciated by 37% as at October 17. And according to the World Bank, it is the best performing currency in sub-Saharan Africa.
But is this the start of a new era of growth and prosperity? We speak to Ranking Member on Parliament's Finance Committee, Kojo Nkrumah, and an economist and finance professor, Professor Godfred Bobkin. In business,
Finance Minister urges Ghanaians and businesses to uphold cedi as sole legal tender. More from the cedi at 60 celebrations.
And in the NSMQ, Twin Power propels Ebri Girls SHS to their first quarterfinal since 2018 after a comeback victory over PAM SHS and Konongo Dumasi SHS.
Work equals pressure times changing. Yes, Ebri Girls.
Isobaric process.
That is correct.
At the beginning, it seemed like we were losing, but out of nowhere, God just turned everything around. We are very glad. And
we have details of these headlines coming up shortly on Newsnight. I am Pearl Ofori.
My name is Mensah. We'll take your comments also tonight, 055-111-11997. And Pearl, let's start from Parliament, where the minority is lashing out at the Attorney General, Dr. Dominic Ayini, over his recent public pronouncements on ongoing state prosecutions. The AG's press briefings have sparked a firestorm, with a lawyer to the minority describing these press briefings as unconstitutional, biased, and nothing more than cheap political expedients.
Well, the latest is the allegation against former CEO of the National Buffer Stock Company, who has been accused of misappropriating over 78 million cedis from the accounts of the company. The couple have been accused of blowing the fortune on property, including buildings, cars, expensive watches, bags, among others. Now, speaking at a press conference in Parliament today, the Minorities Legal Counsel and MP for Suame, John Dako, said the Attorney General's public remarks about ongoing prosecutions amount to pronouncing suspects guilty before fair trial begins.
That working free. 200 million. Why is he not talking about that? Why is he forcing the finance minister? When he was involved in a criminal case before the court, he felt the need to withdraw that case, and yet he feels that it's okay to prosecute other people and destroy their integrity even before the people get a chance to open their cases in the court. An accountable government should follow through and collect all the money. These people, I just mentioned, also embezzle. He is not being accountable. He is just engaging in theatrics. He is engaging in populism. He is engaging in politics to destroy the integrity of people. Let's be clear here. We in the minority, we are not against accountability. Indeed, we believe that everyone should be accountable for his stewardship. Indeed, as a government in 2029, the next NPP government will hold the current NDC government accountable. We believe in accountability. What we are against is the biased press trial which the Attorney General seems to revel in, to the extent that he's virtually pronouncing the guilt of accused persons even before they get a chance to open their cases before the court. The AG says he's into this media circus because he doesn't want to be referred to as an incompetent Attorney General because he wasn't an incompetent lawyer. Please, Mr. Attorney General, competent AGs don't prosecute their cases in the court of public opinion. Competent AGs prosecute their cases in the court where evidence are subject to strict proof. In criminal trials, he has a responsibility to prove his case beyond reasonable doubt. This is where you go. Put the evidence before the court. Let the lawyers of the other parties scrutinize the evidence. If you stand the test of time and the court pronounces them guilty, so be it. Why do you bring the evidence to the media for just this media circus to destroy the image of people even before they get a chance to open their defenses?
Well, beyond the alleged abuse of the right of the accused persons, John Dako says the AG's action is also a gross breach of the 1992 Constitution.
When you got the opportunity to question him, put it to him. Let him understand that this is not right. How do you pronounce the guilt of people even before they get a chance to open their cases? We must all rise up against these issues. These constitutional violations of this administration should not be countenanced, shouldn't be tolerated. And it is gradually tearing down our constitutional guardrails. And the fact that we allow this distraction to continue means that we are removing the limited government that the people of Ghana voted for. Our constitution requires that we are restrained. And when a government is restrained, it is to protect the dignity and integrity of the people. What he's doing to Ghanaians, not foreigners. The Constitution requires this. The Constitution stated that you are innocent until proven guilty. That is what Article 19 says. And if a particular government official continues to violate this constitutional guardrail and actually says that people are guilty until they are proven innocent, it is a violation of the Constitution and you must rise up against it.
Well, the minority leader himself, Alexander Fenyo-Marking, has also been taking on the Attorney General.
Since they assumed office, apart from the PR, when they are hot, they only come and then announce a so-called corruption, they are investigating someone. That's their playbook now. Anytime government is under pressure, Attorney General would do a press conference.
You think that's
Attorney General's place is in the court. My respected friend, the MP, who is an Attorney General and his deputy, I want them to know that their place is in the court.
But they also owe us a duty to update us, to be transparent.
Oh, please.
In what you're doing.
Please. When they are updating you and undermining the authority of the court and disrespecting the rights of people, pronouncing guilty even before going to court, perhaps they are waiting for Bafuboni to become a Chief Justice so that they control the court, which I'm finding, I wonder how they are going to achieve.
You're suggesting that if Bafuboni becomes the CJ, they'll
well, they've said so. They've said so. At least we hear them saying it, that they want their CJ and then they can have their preferred judges. That's what they are saying. But we wait to see. We wait to see. That is why they prefer to be in the media, to talk about people's guilt. But it is not in their place to pronounce guilt. The rule of law requires that go to court, make a case.
Well, he was speaking there on PM Express. On the show last night, he stirred controversy by claiming that Gertrude Tokonu, who was recently removed as the Chief Justice, is still the substantive Chief Justice, and that Bafuboni is simply acting.
Will you vet Bafuboni?
Oh, all our cards are on the table. We'll get there.
including not vetting him and boycotting the vetting? Because you are the ranking on that. You are the vice
boycotting
chair,
is
the vice
out.
chair.
Boycotting is out.
So categorically, you will not boycott.
We will
his
not
vetting.
boycott it. Anybody who is expecting us to boycott, I say here and now, we will never boycott it.
So what will you do instead?
We will do what is right. He himself must know that there is a Chief Justice. He himself must know.
And who is the Chief Justice?
He knows who is the Chief Justice.
No, I'm asking you. You suggested
he knows who the Chief Justice is.
They only act there's an acting Chief Justice.
So he
There's no
knows that
substantive.
he's acting.
Yes.
He knows he's acting, and he knows that there's a substantive Chief Justice.
And who is that?
The lady has a case before you. You know that you are to empanel. If you want to rule, empanel the court, determine the matter, and then bring a finality. Then we can talk.
You're saying that get to talk on is still the substantive CJ.
Well, it is to be known by him that it is the case. The woman has a case before you challenging the processes. You've refused to empanel the court.
But the warrant of the president is final.
The president has discharged his constitutional duty.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about the president.
So
I'm talking
no
about
longer
the
the CJ.
processes. Listen to me. I'm talking about the processes and her rights as a citizen of Ghana and a public office holder.
Let's bring in John Darko, MP for Swame. He is the counsel to the minority. Joins us on the line right now. Mr. Darko, thanks for your time here on Newsnight. You criticize the AG, but the AG is acting on our behalf as the people. We are entitled to transparency. That's exactly what he's doing. What's wrong with that?
I explained earlier today. Well, it's okay that from time to time the AG will want to update the people of Ghana, but what is the content of the message? If the AG came to tell the people of Ghana that, look, we have in the court, let's say, 5 cases against person A, person B, we present our evidence before the court, and we believe that at the end of the prosecution, we will win our case. That will not be an issue. But when the AG, as the Attorney General, comes out to more or less sit in judgment and declare people guilty before they have opportunity to even open their defenses in court, that is not updating the people of Ghana. That is actually, giving judgment. That is violating the right of the people involved. Because, as we stated earlier, the Constitution presumes you are innocent, and that it is the responsibility of the Attorney General to prove your guilt. And so any attempt by anybody in trying to tell the people of Ghana, want to be accountable, want to inform you, okay, any attempt in more or less pronouncing the guilt of the people involved, okay, goes beyond the boundaries of just giving information.
Well, the Attorney General pronouncing the guilt of the people involved. The Attorney General cannot do that. It's only a court of competent jurisdiction. And in fact, if any of the individuals believe that their rights have been infringed upon...
Why does he call people criminal looters? On what basis does he call people that they're engaging in criminal enterprise? On what basis does he call people engaging in criminal syndicate?
It's an opinion he's expressing. It's an allegation.
And that is a very dangerous opinion coming from the Attorney General, who, as I said, is the head of the bar. Even here, young lawyers are told that when a case is before court, you shouldn't be discussing the case in the media.
Well, the cases is discussed are not before the courts. He gave us an update before he went to the court.
Case not in court? Is Adubuahi's case not in court? Is Rotumi's case not in court? All these cases are in court.
At the time that he gave the first update, he was yet to file the Dubai case. In fact, even this last update he gave, the specific case that he told us he was just about to file, he was holding the charges and had not filed yet.
Listen, when he went out there to make these pronouncements, what was the basis for it? In your mind, I asked the journalists today, that in your mind, do you believe that Wontumi is guilty of the crimes he's been charged? In your mind, do you believe that Hanan Wahab is guilty of the charges he's been charged? In your mind, do you believe that Dubuahin and Giftuawai and all those people are guilty of the charges preferred against them? You believe so because the Attorney General consistently pushed the narrative that these people are guilty. He's calling them criminal looters. He's calling them people engaging in criminal syndicate. And for an ordinary person, the assumption is that these people are already guilty. And we said an example that, look, if we go to other jurisdictions where a particular case receive such media attention, especially coming from the Attorney General of the Republic. You would rather move the case to a different venue to avoid facing the jury pool. But here in Ghana, in such cases, it is not trial by jury and judge. The judge sits as a trial of fact and law. And so the judges are listening to our media discussions. The judges are listening to all the media discussions. The judges are listening to the Attorney General. They've been listening to all the things the Attorney General has said. Don't you think that they can also be tainted? They are human as we are. We attend the same social gatherings, and even their family members ask them about the cases.
Yeah, I mean, Mr. Dako, if what you say is indeed what it is, that indeed amounts to defaming the individuals in question, because to accuse somebody of a crime is a serious accusation indeed. These individuals know they have a recourse to the courts. They can't take a defamation case against the Attorney General. What is stopping them?
Listen, these people have to present their case to the judge in the criminal trial. The case is yet to start. Do you want them to come and put their cases out there, their defense out there in the public domain? Ask any lawyer what is sought, whether you ask his clients to put their cases out there in the public domain. You cannot do that. No lawyer will advise any client who is facing criminal charges to do that. You understand? So they are limited, and it is not a time for any lawyer to advise such persons to file defamation suits against the Attorney General. It is not right. Look, we as a people, including you, my brother who is asking the question, our interest must at all times to protect the individual. And that is why when it comes to the criminal prosecution, the Republic has to prove the case beyond reasonable doubt, because it is the whole country going against one individual. And so our interest should be to protect the individual liberty. That is why our Constitution gives all these protection for an accused person. That is why the Constitution says that you are innocent until proven guilty. Do you understand? So one person, you want the person to be fighting in court against the Attorney General in a civil matter, and then again be fighting in court against the Attorney General in a criminal matter. Then how then do you talk about protecting the rights of that individual? We cannot be doing that. Rather, we should be protecting the individual, the rights of that individual. And I believe that you and I should all fight for the small.
I believe we may have lost him now on the Zoom connection. We'll try and
All my people who suffer when the Republic goes against us in this way.
Mr. Jack, just a quick question for you. So, moving forward, how do you think the AG should communicate progress on high-profile cases without, of course, breaching fair trial principles?
And I believe that these are the things we should be asking the Attorney General. We are ready to provide a solution. The Attorney General can come in and list the cases that are in court and give an update by saying, for instance, that in Republic versus Wintumi, we are in court, the case we have reached CMC. Or we come back to, in case of Republic versus Abdul Hanan, we are in court, we have reached, the prosecution has finished its case. We are yet to open the defense of the accused person. He can give us this regular update without going into the details, because this is not where you bring the facts. What if at the end of the day, any of these people, okay, are not convicted? What then becomes the destruction of their reputation in the media? How do they go back to repair? Because look, it is not certain that they are going to win these cases. It is likely that they will lose. So when, for instance, and I'm giving an example, Abdul Hanan wins his case, how is the Attorney General going to react to all the things he said about him? What if in the case of Wintumi, he wins the case? What is he going to say about him? You understand? It is the reason why, as an Attorney General, who is supposed to be at the head of the bar, who is supposed to hold the ethics and standards of the bar, should refrain from making comments like he's been making around.
And very quickly, Mr. Dako, the Attorney General is an MP. His office and himself is subject to Parliament. What do you tend to do beyond the press conference?
Well, I mean, of course, as minority, we continue to let the people of Ghana know these violations. We continue to bring these violations to the attention of the public. And at the appropriate time, if it continues, we have to advise ourselves.
And what does that mean when you say advise yourself?
Well, I mean, when the advice comes, we communicate that to the public.
Thank you very much. John Darko there is MP for Swami constituency. So live, your news night is on Joy 99.7 FM. And there's a press conference that has been happening in the last hour. And the National Coalition for Proper Human Sexual Rights and Family Values, they have given Parliament a 2-week ultimatum to forward the Proper Human Sexual Rights and Ghanaian Family Values Bill to President John Dramani Mahama for assent. At a press briefing earlier, lead convener of the coalition, Moses Fuamweni, said they will not tolerate further delays after years of political back and forth on the bill.
As Mahama Yarika has stated, the bill has already been passed. Honorable Majority Leader and Speaker write a covering letter, transmit it to the President. Within 2 weeks, we have stated that. That should be very easy to do that. If they don't, then we know that they are playing games with all of us. And then let the bill go through the normal process and then let us pass it. Or let the President, if it is given to him, as he's indicated, and I've interacted with the Attorney General, as you know, late as September, I spoke to him when he was in Rome, and he gave me the impression that once he returns, he was going to speak to those who had introduced the private members bill, because according to him, the Speaker was worried about having 2 bills in. So he wanted one withdrawn so that they can introduce the public bill from the Attorney General. So we're putting them, holding their feet to the fire. So if it has been passed, as Honorable Ayariga is saying, then transmit it to the President, let him sign it. If he hasn't, then Mr. President, 10 months is long enough. Let your Attorney General introduce the bill as a public bill. And by the way, so much work was done. So it doesn't need too much. And the current Attorney General was very much involved in the bill that was passed on the 28th of February 2024. So if he's supposed to bring it, all we have to do is bring back the provisions in respect of the care, treatment, and support, and then the flexible sentencing policy, which were removed, and then we are there. So that shouldn't take too long, at most a month. That should be done. So we're holding their feet to the fire, and those are the options that we're giving to them. But this is a faith-based organization. We want to be respectful, so we'll engage them. And whatever transpires, we'll give Ghanaians a weekly or bi-weekly, breakdown of what the engagement is like. If people are refusing to schedule the coalition for meeting the president, we will tell Ghanaians. And the next stage of actions will also be put out to Ghanaians.
I was actually coming to ask you what you do if these timelines are not met.
What we will do is, as I've indicated, we will engage, and I don't think that they will not listen. But the ultimate is that we're going to pray. And I know my God listens.
Well, Kenneth will join us pretty shortly because Kenneth was at the news conference, and I believe he is on the line with the very latest from that news conference, Pell.
Well, Kenneth, we had you speak to Moses Fuamweni, and he said they will engage. Can you tell us more about that?
And majority side of the House before they held that particular press conference. But they say they are seeking further audience with the president because the last time, according to them, that they met with the president on this particular subject was in January when he took office. And since then, they've met the chief of staff once as well. And there's been a series of assurances that the president is going to, assent to this bill. But now there's a new twist because Parliament, through the speaker, is saying that the bill has expired because it died with the 8th Parliament. It will be interesting to find out from them what really their next line of action was, because when I put that question forward to them, they said that if it has been reintroduced into Parliament, the lead sponsor of that particular bill, John Intim Kojo, has given the assurance that he will ensure that it is followed through and is eventually signed. So they are mounting pressure on government, they are mounting pressure on Parliament to ensure that this bill, come what may, is passed.
And Kenneth, is there any indication that they may be prepared to hit the streets to demonstrate?
So I asked that question as well. They said they are a Christian, organization. It's a gathering of Christians. So that is not off the table yet, but they have not been categorical about whether they will hit the street if that 2-week ultimatum expires eventually. But what they've told us is that they're going to continue to give us updates when the timeline elapses. They're going to give us update on their next line of action. But as we speak right now, nothing is off the table, which could possibly include hitting the street, but they've not fit in that categorically as we speak.
Thank you very much, Kenneth, there. And Pearl, in Parliament today, the Speaker gave a ruling on the subject of whether or not the bill has been passed. And he says it hasn't been because it died with the last Parliament, and so everything needs to start afresh, which is where we are tonight. But yesterday on PM Express, Alexander Fanyomarking made some disclosures on what happened last year in the lead up to the 2024 elections. One of the things he disclosed was that at a very senior level, both within the NDC and the MPP, they had a consensus on this particular bill to compromise on its key provisions because they both agreed that it has serious international implications that will be inimical to Ghana's fundamentally economic interests. And he was expecting that both sides going into the elections would have proceeded with some amendments as part of that compromise. And he suggests that there was some betrayal down the line because the NDC side found it to be politically very juicy, and so they milked it for that purpose. Listen to him.
At the highest level, we engaged them. I repeat, at the highest level. And there was that consensus that considering how the international ecosystem will react to this, we should tread cautiously. Then at the leadership level in Parliament, there was also a certain level of understanding. They also expressed their own concerns that, look, this is something that they have put out. So to chicken out that there's already an existing law will be difficult. So we had to go back and still discuss back and forth. And then the final consensus was that, okay, look, by our Ghanaian value system, we don't really agree to this gay rights, etc., etc. So some individuals who were pushing a certain agenda against the country, the stakeholders, we sat with them. And I was a leader of government business then. And we had several discussions. In the end, the compromise was that, okay, you can pass your law, but the bit of incarceration, the post-conviction sentencing, where the person will be incarcerated to go to jail, because the country itself is moving away from a post-sentencing custodial
to non-custodial
to a non-custodial sentencing regime. That would be a safe landing for all parties. So if you check the Hansard, I filed a motion to amend that bit so that all others remain. That one to last minute, our friends hit us hard. And that hot afternoon, like you said, I wasn't a lucky man. Assumed leadership in a 137 at that tail end of the regime, the administration. It was not easy for me, all right? My friend Ato Forson could not look me eye to eye. I would call Ato, he would look elsewhere. The chief whip, Kwame, I would go. I was literally crying. Kwame, let's save our country. He will look you eye and say, Kwame now, it's not me. Oh. Then they will be tossing you, go here. Go and see this, our big man. You go there, midnight, early morning. You go and wait. They say, oh, okay. Then last minute they say, oh, it's our boys. It's our, that kind of plausible deniability, that game, eh? They will say, oh, it's the back bench. Then some judge will come in, I'll call some. At least let's compromise on this. Then you also, I'll get back to you. I need to talk to my bosses. Meanwhile, the same bosses are saying you are the problem. Look, it was not easy for us.
And you hear that the minority leader, Alexander Fanyomarking, this is, of course, a news night, and James Eshen is here with business.
All right, coming up in business this evening, Finance Minister urges Ghanaians and businesses to uphold Cedi as sole legal tender, and Cedi records one of its strongest performances as $1 equals 12 cedis, 10 pesos at various forex bureaus. Business News on Newsnight is brought to you by MTN Business. Welcome to the new world of business. Kingdom Books and Stationery, the number one stop shop for all office essentials, Syntex tanks, and Pepsodent Herbal and Charcoal.
Hey, Ruben. Every 2 seconds notification. The Momo keeps on coming. It keeps on coming, eh?
Ma, I am the community Momo man now. People send money, and with the Momo app, every payment is done. My transactions are flying.
Hey, Adeng.
Ah, ma, you didn't know, eh?
Over 2 million Ghana cedis is up for grabs in the Still Mensah promo. Transact more than 100 Ghana cedis with your Momo app, and you could win daily, weekly, and monthly cash prizes, and 100,000 Ghana cedis grand prize. And it's not just payments and money transfers. Bank to wallet transactions, savings, loans, investments, pensions, POS transactions, and Momo transactions from other partner platforms qualify. This promo runs in collaboration with the NLA on the Caritas Lottery platform. Terms and conditions apply.
Son, we are so proud of you for setting up this hospital. I really love those hospital beds and waiting chairs. By the way, did you import them?
No, Dad, I didn't. I actually got them from Kingdom Books and Stationery right here in Ghana.
Wow. We also bought our office supplies, safes, executive desks and chairs from Kingdom, and they gave us expert advice on how to set up our office.
Guys, that makes 3 of us. I also got our sofa and bedroom sets, plus our dining hall furniture for our new home from Kingdom.
Wow, Mom, that makes 4 of us. I usually get my stationery items from Kingdom, and my teacher also mentioned that our classroom furniture was provided by Kingdom.
So there you have it. Whenever you're thinking about setting up an office or acquiring furniture for your home, etc., Kingdom Books and Stationery should be your first port of call. With over 40 years experience in the industry, we stock and supply a wide variety of globally sourced office and home furniture, stationery and equipment. Visit our head office,
Takweje, Osu near the Osu Cemetery, Temania Community 4, Takoradi opposite Vijay Mays Plaza, Cape Coast University Bookshop, Spintex Road near Absa Bank, Atomic Center Point Mall, Winneba University Campus, KNUST, the University Bookshop, and Santasi in Kumasi. You can also visit our shop online, www.kingdomstoreonline.com. Hurry while stock lasts. For further inquiries, contact us on 050-162-0810 or 0302-764-101. Email info@kingdomgh.com. Kingdom Books and Stationery Limited, where quality and affordability is assured. Terms and conditions apply.
For many years, we've been solving Ghana's water storage problems with quality tanks. Syntex tank. You know, it is strong, it's tough, and reliable. And now, we are in to solve the #1 problem when it comes to water carriage: our pipes. With the state-of-the-art machinery, Syntex is providing very strong, tough, reliable, high quality and durable pipes at a reasonable price. This is Syntex Pipes. With Syntex Pipes, water flows wow. I mean, ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta. If they carry water, no wahala. With Syntex Pipe, our water problems are solved. Syntex, are you strong? Are you tough?
Brushing gets more fun with your kids with the new Pepsodent Kids toothpaste. Give your smiles protection that lasts. Grab yours today from a store near you. This advert is FDA approved.
This year is going to be sweet. I don't just feel it, I know it, because the Luckiest Season 3 is back.
and I'm about to show you how to grab your golden ticket. Just dial *712# and follow the prompts to purchase your ticket. Or go to theluckiestafrica.com, hit community tickets, and pick your lucky number.
Or let the system do its magic. Choose how much you want to spend from 1 to 5,000 Ghana cedis. You can even buy a ticket for someone else. Be someone's hero. Payment? Easy. Mobile money in Ghana or card if you're international.
One ticket can turn 1 CD into 500 times more. That's maths we love. Or your community could win 10 times more. So let's get lucky together because luck is everywhere.
Every mosquito study run away.
This advert is FDA approved.
Welcome back to Business on Newsnight with me, James Ishin. We settle for the details now. Finance Minister Dr. Atufosson is urging Ghanaians and businesses to uphold the cedi as the only legal tender for all transactions. Speaking at the cedi at 60 celebrations in Accra, Dr. Forson said supporting the use of local currency is essential to maintaining stability and strengthen national confidence in the economy. Here is more. At the cedi at 60 celebrations in Accra, the Finance Minister, Dr. Atufosson, appealed to Ghanaians to uphold the cedi as the only legal tender for all transactions.
As citizens, we have a role to play. Pricing of goods and services in foreign currency, the US dollar. As Ghanaians, the Ghana cedi remains the only legal tender. The US dollar is not our currency. The cedi is our only currency.
Vice President Professor Nana Jeno-Poku-Agyeman said, sustaining recent stability of the Ghana cedi requires a collective national effort.
I encourage the Bank of Ghana to work more closely with businesses, banks, and innovators to make it easier to transact in cedi at home, online, and across borders. Ladies and gentlemen, restoring confidence in the cedi is also a national responsibility.
The governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Johnson Isiama, said the country has turned a decisive corner with evidence of sustained gains in the performance of the cedi.
Under the leadership of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and Her Excellency the Vice President, and through coordinated, difficult, but necessary policy actions, I'm happy to say that Ghana has turned a decisive corner.
The cedi at 60 celebrations mark 6 decades since Ghana introduced its national currency. Meanwhile, the cedi has recorded one of its strongest performances as $1 equals 12 cedis, 10 pesos at the Forex bureaus. The following report has more.
The Ghana cedi posted one of its strongest performances in recent months over the 2-week review period. This was supported by improved market sentiment and steady central bank interventions. The cedi appreciated to 10.85 Ghana cedis per US dollar on the interbank market. Retail market activity reflected similar momentum, with the cedi advancing 6.53% against the US dollar to close at 12 cedis 25 pesos.
And that was a Business Desk report. Now, the secondary bond market turnover has declined by 36.73% week on week to 1.54 billion Ghana cedis from 2.43 billion Ghana cedis the previous week. The following report has more.
The 2027 to 2030 bonds continued to anchor market activity, accounting for 71.20% of total volumes at a weighted average yield of 15.30%. The 2031 to 2038 maturities followed, jointly contributing 29% in volumes traded at a weighted average yield of 15.93%. Data Bank anticipates a modest uptick in market activity as assets managers rebalance portfolios ahead of the month end. However, trading sentiment is expected to remain measured, with investors adopting a cautious stance pending fiscal direction from the upcoming 2026 budget presentation.
And that was a news desk report. Now, Shipfast Cargo and Logistics has pledged to promote efficient and easy logistics in Ghana's trading ecosystem. The company will showcase international pickups and delivery solutions at the EcoBank Joy Business SME Fair on October 31 to November 2nd at Good Park, adjacent to the Accra Mall. Ahead of the fair, Chief Executive of the company, Samuel Owusu and San Edu, said potential customers are assured of quality service delivery from the entity.
At the City at 60 celebrations in Accra, the Finance Minister
Shipfast Cargo and Logistics, the freight forwarding company located in Asylum Down near the MPP head office. And we provide services such as air freight, sea freight, consolidation, international pickups, and delivery. You can find us on our socials at Shipfast Cargo GH and contact us on 0200 180 273 or 0508 729593. So look out for us at our stand at the EcoBank Joy Business SME Fair happening at the Good Park on the 31st October to the 2nd November. See you there.
Samuel Owusu and San Edu as the Chief Executive of Shipfast Cargo and Logistics, speaking ahead of the EcoBank Joy Business SME Fair, which starts from October 31 to November 2nd at Good Park, adjacent the Accra Mall. And that's all for business on Newsnight with me, James Eshen Evans.
Thank you very much.
Now, Evans, 60 years ago in July 1965, Ghana introduced the cedi to replace the Ghanaian pound and shilling, marking a defining moment in its post-independence identity and economic sovereignty. 6 decades on, the cedi has evolved through 4 currency changes, 5 major devaluations, and redenomination, reflecting the country's long battle with inflation, fiscal indiscipline, and currency instability.
Well, today we've been hearing from the governor of the central bank, Dr. Johnson Isiama, at the cedi at 60 celebrations, and he says the country has turned a decisive corner after years of turbulence, citing recent economic gains in macroeconomic indicators. We'll listen to him pretty shortly, but first, let's take a look at the journey of the Ghana cedi over the last 6 decades in the following report. And my colleague Adobia will bring us that report pretty shortly. It's a fascinating one. I learned a lot of history from there, including Dede Ashikinshan. I'll tell you the story right after you've listened to the details.
Money, they say, makes the world go round, but it also tells a story of independence, leadership, and identity. Today, I take a step back in time to explore the people behind our cedi. I have come to meet Niodoe Glover, General Manager at the Artists Alliance Gallery. He'll be walking me through the evolution of Ghana's currency.
So we have most of the old currencies as far as that of the pound to the present stage. We have that of the pound here. Immediately, we took over from the British. We changed to the Ghana cedi, which has Kwame Nkrumah's head on it. This money was used while Kwame Nkrumah was in power.
But Nkrumah's presence on our currency was short-lived. After his overthrow in 1966, his image was removed, reflecting political shifts and historical rewriting.
We started moving into other currencies.
Ghanaian currency has since become a canvas for honoring national heroes. The 50 pesos coin celebrates Rebecca Nadede Aite, a businesswoman and activist who helped finance Ghana's independence.
She was an entrepreneur. Then she was popularly known for selling flour, for baking bread.
Okay.
She helped in the fight for the independence. Very necessary. We can't do away without our women.
Yeah.
Our women are very important in all parts of our life.
Beyond individuals, Ghana's banknotes also highlight national landmarks and industries. The Larabanga Mosque, cocoa farms, and the Akosombo Dam all appear on different denominations, symbolizing our heritage and economy. A major currency change came in 2007 under President John Kufuor, when the Bank of Ghana restructured the cedi, removing 4 zeros. The 10,000 cedi note became today's 1 cedi. Through every redesign, Ghana's currency has remained a reflection of its history, struggles, and triumphs. But one thing remains constant. It is simply the cedi, not the Ghana cedi. But how did the name cedi come about?
Our present money cedi is the name of a shell.
The cowries.
The cowries.
Cedi.
Cedi.
Okay.
And we today use it as our money.
From political icons to national landmarks, Ghana's currency carries a legacy beyond its value. The next time you hold a cedi note, take a moment to appreciate the story it tells. My name is Adobia Asare for Joy News, Accra.
The Bank of...
Do you remember the song, though? That was one of the famous songs ever to promote a government policy. The value is the same.
Can you
song.
sing it?
Of course I can.
Okay.
I'll
How does it
serenade you
start?
later. Don't worry. I mean, how much are you paying, though? But we've been hearing from...
Any amount you ask for.
Any amount?
You ask for.
A blank check?
Or a blank check.
Okay. Well, I'll report to our listeners tomorrow.
Well, we can now hear from the governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Johnson Esiama, who says that through painful but necessary policies under President John Dramani Mahama, the cedi is performing well.
Under the leadership of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and Her Excellency the Vice President, and through coordinated, difficult, but necessary policy actions, I'm happy to say that Ghana has turned a decisive corner. And indeed, the evidence is compelling. Headline inflation is now at 9.4% as of September 2025, and we expect it to end the year even far lower. The cedi has appreciated by 37% as at October 17, and according to the World Bank, it is the best performing currency in sub-Saharan Africa. Our gross international reserves are currently around $12 billion, which is providing a robust cushion against external volatility and restoring our investor confidence. So these gains are not by accident. They are the result of hard, sometimes unpopular, but principled decisions that we've had to take. And so today, as we celebrate 60 years of the cedi, we do so not out of nostalgia, but from a place of hard-won stability and cautious optimism.
Let's bring in Kojo Nkrumah. He's a ranking member on the Economy and Development Committee. And Kojo, thanks for your time here on Newsnight. The governor says that Ghana has turned a decisive corner. You agree? Hello, Mr. Nkrumah, can you hear me? Okay, we don't seem to have his attention there. But on the subject of this very fascinating report, we want to catch the full report of the history of the cedi. And you'll hear the story of that very powerful Ghana woman somewhere in Jamestown who was very instrumental in financing some of the political leaders there and her role in that whole struggle. And her name is the thing that really got me, Dede Ashikinshan. Ashikinshan is flour. And so I'm pretty sure you had the historian there talk about flour. And that story is fascinating indeed. And it's across our social media platforms. So live here on Newsnight on Joy 99.7 FM. And when we get Nkrumah, we'll bring him to you.
Before that, a group of 62 current and 34 former youth organizers and their deputies of the NPP have come together to express their collective displeasure over what they claim is a deliberate attempt by Dr. Brian Echampon to smear the candidacy of Dr. Balmia with lies and unfair accusations. According to the group, Dr. Echampon in his campaign in the Ashanti region consistently accused the former vice president of the party's defeat. However, the group believes that Dr. Echampon's actions and inactions were major contributions to the party's electoral misfortune, which he refuses to accept. Now, speaking at a press conference today, Bright Nyampon stated that Dr. Champon's attempt to purchase Senate hotels and his performance as a Greek minister were major reasons for the party's defeat in the 2024 polls.
He has failed to appreciate the fact that his actions and deeds contributed anomalously to the party's electoral defeat in 2024. Please join me as I take you through some of his utterances, some of his actions that we believe led to our defeat in 2024 election. First on the list is conflict of interest and the Senate hotel controversy. Ladies and gentlemen, you agree with me that during the 2024 campaign, instead of the party foes and then the communicators going around campaigning for our candidate and then they're selling the good legacy that His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and his able vice president did for those nations, we were rather defending some of the actions and utterances said by then Brian Etampo. The attempted accusation of majority shares in Senate hotel by Dr. Brian Etampo, and I believe you all remember, while serving as a Minister of State, constituted a serious breach of public interest and major contributing factor to the defeat of the new Patriotic Party. If we were to be there, would you have voted for the NPP? Interestingly, this same person is going around the country blaming Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia for the underperformance of the economy when he failed woefully to manage the agricultural sector. What a fallacy.
So the accusations and counter-accusations is, as they call it, silly season within the NPP ahead of the primaries. One of the other accusations that they leveled against Brian Champon is that he's shown undemocratic tendencies which could affect the party's fortunes if he's elected flag bearer. Pearl. And joining us right now is Pius Anam Hajida, and he's spokesperson for Brian A. Champon's campaign. Good evening and thank you for your time on Newsnight. First of all, I'd like to get your reaction to the accusations leveled against the man you speak for.
Well, Pearl, good evening to you and to our viewers and listeners. I thank you for the opportunity. I think that it is now tried knowledge that Dr. Brian Champon has taken over the Ashanti region. Ashanti region has seen the need to reconnect with our base and to rediscover and even perfect our winning formula. And so no amount of mudslinging, no amount of falsehoods that are being peddled will detract Dr. Brian Champon and his team from proceeding along the lines that we are on at the moment. I think that it is unfortunate that some persons will attempt to go along the path that these few young men have selected to go. These are discredited NDC propaganda that is being rehashed. And again, I can report that Dr. Brian Champon's performance at the Agri Ministry was really and truly unprecedented. The cancellation, for instance, of the syndication, that is to his credit. He was sector minister. He led that bold move to cancel cocoa syndication. And of course, the gargantuan, if you may, increase in the cocoa pricing in this country. At the time Dr. Brian Champon assumed office as sector minister responsible for agri, a bag of cocoa was selling for about 800 Ghana cedis. By the time he left, it was now selling at 3,100 Ghana cedis. I mean, this is a major achievement of the NPP, and Dr. Brian Champon was the person who led the efforts. Again, the dry spell intervention of the distribution of fertilizer was a huge success. Of course, understandably, some districts were unable to distribute their fertilizers on time, but that is neither the doing nor responsibility of Dr. Brian Champon. He is not supposed to be the one delivering the fertilizers to the farmers. That is for the local decentralized structures to do. And if there was a collapse in the system or there was a breakdown at some point, that is not the responsibility nor doing of Dr. Brian Champon. So I think that we are going to remain focused. The good people of the Ashanti region and all regions for that matter are listening and paying keen attention to the campaign messages. They have seen that Dr. Bernard Champon offers a new breath of life. Hope is being restored. The new patriotic party is being galvanized and repositioned. Dr. Bernard Champon has shown that he's a candidate.
Well, Mr. Hajida, the group made a number of allegations, one of which is the SNIT hotels issue. We do know that the man you speak for backtracked on that. Would you say that your boss has the character to become the flag bearer of the NPP with all these accusations?
Into the gutters this way, but like Dr. Brian says all the time, when they go low, we go high. So we will remain high and we'll keep our focus.
Pius, we know that he was a cabinet minister who wanted to leverage his position to acquire a state asset. How do you respond to that?
Well, like I said, that's discredited NDC propaganda. Dr. Bernard Champon.
So how do you discredit that as NDC propaganda, Mr. Hajide?
The brand, the Rock City brand, is an identity on its own. The individual Dr. Bernard Champon is an identity on its own. That's a company, corporate, registered, has a board of governors, board of directors. They take their corporate decisions, sometimes even against the personal wishes of Dr. Bernard Champon. In any case, at the time that Rock City pursued to partner with Smith, when Smith itself had announced their interest to seek partnership, at the time that Rock City declared their intention to partner with Smith, Bernard Champon was not even a government or a member or a minister. He became a minister along the line. And when he became a minister, and when these matters were being raised, he then went back to his board, influenced the decision of the board to refrain from proceeding. How that can become an offense, and that can then account for our loss. I mean, I call it discredited NDC propaganda to some of the things that were done against even the flag bearer at the time, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, who was accused of having shares and ownership in Haptel, for instance.
Mr. Pius Henam Hajida, spokesperson for Brian Champon's campaign, thank you for speaking to us.
It's our time for the National Science and Maths Quiz and the latest results we are getting from there. Well, Twin Power, they say, propelled the Bree Girls Senior High School to end a 7-year wait for a quarter-final appearance in the NSMQ after mounting a thrilling comeback to eliminate Apam SHS and Konongo Odumase SHS in their 1/8 stage contest. Now, the Beposohan ladies, who last reached the quarterfinals in the 2018 contest, showcased remarkable teamwork and composure against their fierce contenders, Apam SHS and Konongo SHS. My colleague Collins from Pong has more.
Work equals pressure times changing. Yes, the Bree Girls.
Isobaric process.
That is correct.
At the beginning, it seemed like we were losing, but out of nowhere, God just turned everything around. We are very glad, and we are very, very, very grateful to God.
Now you've been able to move to the quarterfinal. This is the first time since 2018. How are you feeling, and what should we expect from you guys?
I am very, very excited. I'm very excited, and yes, we are all also excited, and we want you to expect the best from us this year. Yes.
All right, thank you. Let me hear from you, Mommy. You led the team. You have right.
Okay, don't worry.
Right. All of you led the team to this point, and you have made history. The only girls' school remaining in the championship moved to quarterfinal, and this is your first time since 2018.
Yeah, this is our first time, and I will say that it has been a collaborative effort. So the teachers are training the girls very well, and as I said earlier, they are come ready to go. Whatever instruction you give to them, they are ready to do it. And with their efforts too, constantly they are learning. Every day and night they are learning. And then those who are to set questions for them, proactive questions to test themselves, they are on it every now and then. So I'm sure that is why we have come this far. And finally, it has been the grace of God.
You had my colleague Collins Frimpong speaking to some of the contestants at the NSMQ. Meanwhile, in other contests, Opokuwari won their contest to advance to the quarterfinals after defeating Amenfiman SHS and Fijai with 67 points. Accra Academy also won theirs with 48 points against Agri Memorial, Zion SHS and Kwewu Tafo. Now the last round of the contests are underway and we'll be bringing you updates here. Enjoy them.
Just a couple of messages on our social media platforms just before we exit. And this one says, I am Eben. He's from Kwabenya. CD at 60. Thanks to Aban Papa, that at age 60, CD has gained momentum to stand with other currencies. And this one from Pearl, your namesake in Kumasi, Pearl. He says there are some actions that when you hesitate in taking them, they become difficult to take once external influence starts piling up. This LGBTQ thing is one of them, which is why Professor Mills of blessed memory didn't hesitate to shut it down immediately it showed its head. And that's it for News Night tonight. My name is Evan Mensah.
And I am Pearl Lufuri.
And Peps is here with Geek Squad. What are you talking about?
Tonight we're talking about passwords.
Ah.
Oh,
I watched a movie this weekend. And and this very old man who runs a very sensitive institution, but he's not adept about what passwords are. What he did was he has his computer and he's written his password and it has a sticker.
That's why I want to have this conversation.
Exactly.
People need to be aware of.
And somebody needed to hack the institution. All they did was to just come there and see it and they logged in.
Note and that was it.
Yeah.
That's terrible. But we'll be sharing ways people can create passwords that they don't have to stick on their computers.
Okay. Well, stick and stay.